Hey guys, Omar here, and I want to talk to you today about the foundation of what it takes to be successful in any industry, but specifically in the mentoring industry. What it takes to be successful in the mentoring industry, and really what creates the foundation. Because in the mentoring industry, as you've probably seen by now, there's a lot that goes into it, right? For example, you have sales, meeting with people, contracts you have to set, programs, way to receive payments, and everything that goes on, getting a business license, and how to keep track of your expenses, make sure you're a profitable business, and all these different things that come into place with owning a mentoring business. But before all that, or behind all of that, I want to let you know what kind of goes into having that strong foundation. And one of the key pieces in actually being able to sustain a mentoring business and keep kind of like the glue that keeps all the other things together. So make sure you pay attention, pause the video if you need to pause it, and just take a lot of notes, because I'm going to give you the foundation of what it is that you need. And that foundation is mindset. That's right, the mindset you have will create your foundation. Everything we do, we must first have a mindset. So there is nothing in life that you're going to do that you don't already have a mind, your mind's not already made up about, or you have a certain belief, certain way of thinking, certain way of doing things. It just doesn't work that way, right? But where did we get this mindset? Well, this mindset was normally passed on to us, taught to us, or things we learned through experience in life. And what I want to do is I want to help you identify what's going to help you and get rid of what's not helping you and allow you to install what is going to help. So you're in for a treat. Okay, so let's start with mindset. There's three things. Now I'll repeat that. There's three things that help create a good mindset. And the first is the worth it factor. The second is your beliefs and routine. Routine, beliefs, and worth it factor. So let me go into every single one of them, because as you're probably wondering, that's great, but what does that mean? Well, let me tell you. Worth it factor. Worth it factor means, why you? Why should they go to you when there's so many other people around that are offering similar services, sometimes lower pricing, and why you? There's people that have been doing it for a lot longer time. So what separates you from other people? And this is what I call the worth it factor. What makes it worth it? And really, the worth it factor is really simple. The worth it factor basically means, what do you do that separates you from everybody else? From the 98 or 97% of the world's population. What do you do that separates you? So it doesn't necessarily mean being the most successful and having the most money and all of that. While that could be a really good indicator, not necessarily always. For example, do you take really good care of yourself? Are you, healthy? Not just physically, but mentally. Are you mentally healthy? Do you have a routine, like a schedule, something that you do? Like, what makes you worth it? So, for example, every day, somebody could say, well, what makes me worth it is every single day I meditate for 20 minutes. Every single day. And 97% of the population doesn't. And because of that, because you're so engaged in what you do, it separates you, puts you on a higher class than anybody else, which makes you the right person and makes you worth it. So it doesn't have to be all around success. It just has to mean, what do you do? I wake up in the morning before 5 a.m. Every day I'm up before 5 a.m. What are the things that I'm doing in my life that make me worth it, right? Because if you're in a room with somebody else and your qualifications and everything are the same, a person still has to choose who they're going to work with. And really, the worth it factor is something that is picked up subconsciously, right? Have you ever seen somebody successful or somebody who walks into the room that you've never met before, and you automatically go, hey, that person looks like they're successful. That person right there, for some reason, they draw a lot of attention. It's because their worth it factor is very high, because there's something that they do that beats out the rest. What is that one thing that you're going to do that beats out the rest? Or maybe it can be a set of things that you do. But what is it that sets you apart from everybody else? And the thing is that worth it factor is picked up subconsciously. So people can recognize it, they just don't know what it is that makes you so successful. So to have a good mindset, you really need to do things physically. It's not just mentally. Mindset is not just a mind thing. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions out there, is it's really not just a mind thing. A mindset is an overall of what you do physically and mentally. So, and emotionally. So, okay, so let's go back to this. So, worth it factor. What makes you worth it? Whatever it may be, getting up early, reading so many books, working out. What separates you from everybody else? What do you do that's above and beyond? So, that's your worth it factor. Next, your beliefs. And your beliefs are huge, especially in the mentoring industry, because your beliefs really come from how you feel about yourself and your experiences. And as you probably already noticed, having a strategy session sometimes can be a little on the difficult side, right? Like emotions come up, thoughts run through our minds, things just start to go crazy. And so your beliefs really get tested here. So what are your beliefs like? And I actually want to share something with you guys. And it's a set of declarations that I use personally to help improve my beliefs and really pull out the old and put in the new. And now I know you've heard about declarations before. If you haven't, look them up. There's power statement words that you say to create yourself. The one thing that most people miss when doing a declaration is a feeling, because words are just words until we add emotion, and emotion's a feeling. Words are just words unless we add emotion into them, how we feel. And so declarations mixed with emotion are really powerful. And so you want to have declarations that add emotion into it. And let me share something with you. So right here, I have a set of declarations that I use. And these declarations are very powerful because of the feeling that it adds. So for example, I'll read a couple off of them on there, and what I'll also do is we'll also add a sheet with this information on it, so you could use ours that we use that have been proven. And like we know, if we learn something from somebody who's doing something that works, it's okay to copy it. But if you want to adjust them to have them fit your own personal needs, go for it. So for example, this is a declaration with an emotion attached to it. I always think and act today. I feel heroic, confident, and exhilarated, knowing my actions today will create momentum tomorrow, and the next day, I feel unstoppable. See how it says feel, the word feel, and we have to add our emotion into it. Because if you really want a declaration to really sit in, add emotion, and even say how you feel. I am free of the fear of rejection. Rejection is a necessary thing to achieve success. I act without fear of rejection. I feel confident, strong-minded, and energized. You see, you add declarations with feeling. You add declarations with feeling. And so that is a piece that allows me to really update my beliefs and really allows me to add feeling, emotion to what it is that I'm doing, so I can change that belief system that has been instilled with me. So that's a piece of it. Okay, that's a piece. Declarations with emotions, say how you feel. Okay, second part is I want to talk to you about rejection and failure. Really, because people normally think success and the opposite is failure, right? It's success and failure. Failure is the opposite. Go and stop, opposites. Up and down, opposites. Left and right, opposites. And people think success and failure, right? Well, I'm just going to totally burst that bubble, and I'm totally going to wipe that clean from your system, because that is actually not true. That is not true at all. And whoever made us believe that failure was the opposite of success, boy, they sure did a number on us. Because let me share something with you that has really helped me and really helped a lot of the people that I've worked with and a lot of the people that I've learned from gain success. And first, before you can gain anything, you need to understand what it really is. And so I want you to picture this ball. This ball is success, right? Nice, round, smooth, just success. But I also want you to notice what success is when you really look closely at it. And when you really look closely at it, I don't know if you can see there, you can see a lot of the lines in it. There's a lot of lines going throughout every part of that ball. Well, in this ball, all those lines equal all the failures and all the rejections and everything that's going on, that all the struggles that we went through. And so when you look at success from far away, it looks totally awesome. It looks great. But when you really get up close to what it took to create the success, you realize failure, struggles, pain, all of these things are growing tools that are needed to be part of success. Success isn't just a smooth perfectness. No, that's not success. And anybody who's successful will tell you that's not success. Success is your accomplishments, all the things you've accomplished, surrounded by all the pain, the failure, the rejection that you've experienced. All those combined equal success. It's not the money and the lives you've changed, it's the growth, the experiences, the rejection, the love, and all of the things that you've experienced that equal success. You put all of these things together and you get success. So I want you to really, really focus on what success really is. And success is accomplishments, acceptance, love, mixed with struggle, rejection, and fear, all together in one, mashed up, gives you success. That's why they say success is an equation. It's a mixture of things. It's not just one thing that equals success. It's an equation, a mixture. So when you realize that, so the next time you fail, the next time you say, oh, somebody said no to me, somebody didn't sign with me. What you didn't fail. I mean, you did fail, but it's not what failure is perceived as. What you're doing in that moment is building success. You're building success. And when you understand that building success includes failure or rejection, then guess what? It makes you more motivated, it keeps you stronger, it keeps your head in the game, and it actually makes you feel more successful because you understand that it's not success or failure. You understand that they go together and they equal success. You can't have success without failure. Remember that. So next time you get a no, you get a rejection, you get something, you're really succeeding. So way to go! You're successful. Okay? So beliefs. That's a piece of the beliefs that I think is very powerful to understand. So declarations with emotions and what success really is. And next, routine. This is key, okay? Because I get a lot of people that I meet that say, oh, I read this book and I did this one time and well, I think I have an awesome mindset. Well, that's like them saying, hey, I was overweight, but I went to the gym one time this last month and I ate a salad, so I'm fit. I'm like set. I'm like totally good. You would look at them and go, that's not exactly how it works. You need to put in more time, more dedication, more effort until you actually see long-lasting results. Yeah, they might have lost maybe a pound from that day, but chances are it wasn't anything long-lasting and they might have made it back. And they might be right back where they started. And so that's what you really need to understand is a routine, that the mind and our mindset, the way we think, is a muscle. And we constantly need to train it to have it keep improving and become better. You can't just train it once and expect it to be better because it reverts back to its old ways. Just like our bodies, I can't expect to lift weight once and be completely ripped and just totally buff, right? And even if I did become ripped and totally buffed and I completely stopped, I would go back to how I was. And that's exactly how our mind works. See, it's not just one thing you're done. It's a lifestyle. your mindset really is a lifestyle of what you do, what you're going to do in your life, and what the results you want to have. Because you're not just wanting to change some results, you're wanting a lifestyle. So your mind really is a lifestyle creator, but you have to treat it like a lifestyle and continue to educate it and train it. So routine is super important. So now you wouldn't train your mind like you would your body, because you obviously can't put weights on there and lift them and do all these things, but you take the principles. What's the word I was looking for? So obviously the times that you train it, resistance, and how often and resistance you do it, right? When you're lifting weights and you add resistance to it, heavier weights, and how often you do it, you're going to get better results. And so with the mind, you do the same thing. And that's when routine really comes in. What's your routine? What's your mind routine? Because people work out sometimes on a daily basis, but you should really be working out your mind on a daily basis. See, in the morning, what is your routine? Do you read a book? Do you meditate? Do you stare at your vision board? Do you do your declarations with emotion? What do you do? Do you problem solve? What do you do on a daily basis? What's your mind routine? See, and that's what I want to help you build, is I want you to really focus on what it is that you want to do. You want to become an expert in something? Go get a book. You know, they say if you read 5 books on one topic, you're technically considered an expert, because most people have read 1 to none. So if you can read 5 books on a specific subject, you're becoming an expert. So great. So you start reading books. Then what workout, what meditation, what, working out can also be part of a mental routine. What are the things that you're doing? Declarations. Also removing the junk in our brain, right? Writing down all the negative thoughts and getting rid of it, burning it, doing something like that. That's also a routine, because you're training your mind on what you want it to do. And every time you train, you become better. So really focus on that. Routine. What's your routine? And create a routine specifically to you. Now, you don't want to overdo it, right? Because it's like if somebody's never really worked out or is not used to working out a lot, they're not going to go train with huge bodybuilder Olympians and expect to do everything that they do, right? That's just a little bit ridiculous, because we're not prepared and we've never done that. So the reason why I want you to pick a specific routine for you is because you don't want to overdo it. You want to start off nice and easy and build on top of that routine, right? It's not all or nothing, it's something is better than nothing. So start with something and then add to it. Become an expert at it and then keep moving. So remember that, something to think about when you're creating your routine. So we talked about mindset and the 3 things that give you the best mindset. The worth it factor, the beliefs, and your routine. So awesome. If you have any questions about this, feel free to send us an email. Maybe you might have to rewatch the video once or twice to really get all the information, but that's totally good, right? Because a mindset is not something we build like that. No, it can shift like that, but a mindset is something we build over time. It's a lifestyle. So start working on your mindset and start seeing how your life changes when you have new beliefs, you're worth it, and you have a routine. Thanks for watching.